camera is in the glasses.
Oh my.
It's number one. So as I'm looking at the dog and looking away, I'm recording you, and this will record whatever it gets pointed at. So do one of you want to play photographer and photograph her?
Sure.
If you want, do you want Sky?
Yeah, Sky, you'd be good.
Well, yeah, that's even better.
That's better, yeah.
Good. And just so keep it centered on her. And what's happened in the past, okay, human psychology and dog psychology are very different. And what has happened up until this point, whether you know it or not, is, you see how our energy level's going down?
Yeah.
Okay, is that typical?
No.
Okay. Right away, I'm affecting a different change.
Okay.
So, from the get-go, my approach is different from your approach.
Yes.
By my coming in here and ignoring her, yeah, she's jumping on me. Normally I would correct that, but because she seems imbalanced. Imbalance is a term I'll get into describing a little bit later. The imbalance tells me that she's high energy, she's high anxiety, and she hasn't become comfortable with being calm. There are some dogs that are just kind of in the state where it's hard to read, it's hard to know, but they're so used to being high energy, high stress. If you consider it a 0 to 10 energy level, if they're hanging up here around a 7 or an 8 energy level, they're not used to being calm. So when they go into a calm level, they've rarely been there, and it scares them because it's so new. Okay, it's like this is the unbalanced area. But what I'm starting to show her, because I'm ignoring her, I'm triggering this. What I do works because I trigger nature's triggers inside the dog.
Okay.
And what you're seeing right now is the result. What you're seeing is the result of nature's programming, where if a stronger leader comes around and ignores me, I am triggered to be quiet. I'm triggered to lay down and to be calm and to be submissive. And you'd have to pretty much agree that she's kind of taken on that.
She never does that.
Okay, that's the trigger that's getting triggered. Now,